Hello and welcome to Bits Day. Well, every day is Bits Day, right? I was going through some stuff and I realized, oh my god, I have so many bits everywhere. I'm trying to organize some bits. I have all of these little containers. I have bigger containers. I have Tupperware containers. Bits everywhere. It's driving me a little bit crazy. So I'm trying to, because I was thinking of more things to add to some of the conversions I've been working on, and of course for conversions, you need bits. Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, last night was okay. Nobody woke up during the night. Kids woke up a little bit early this morning, but they were manageable. So it's all it's improving. We got a good Slaanesh symbol there. So one of the projects that I started was converting Haarken Worldclaimer into something a little bit more exciting. So obviously, I gave him a new head, the heads that I use for a lot of my Emperor's Children hero types. I got rid of his goofy looking spear and gave him this cool, well, it was originally a two-handed Thunderhammer from the Deathwatch kit. So I gave him that, attached the spear tip to the end of it, so maybe he's stabbing with the spear, maybe he's about to bring it down to hit with the hammer, who knows. Added a spiky thing on there, and then I did not put on some of the decoration that they included for the top of the jump pack. So there were like trophy racks, and then there was something else that hung down that I did not use. So I was trying to think of other things that I could add. And one of the things that I was actually looking for, and I found, which is exciting, we've talked about the Raptor and Warp Talons kit. Really, really cool kit. As far as the units go, Raptors and Warp Talons, those units have gone through a lot. They were really good in 7th? Or like, it keeps going back and forth. Raptors were good, and then they'll be garbage, and then Warp Talons will be good, and then they'll be garbage, and then they'll both be okay, and then they'll both be garbage. Who knows. But anyway, the kit is really cool because it comes with a ton of parts. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, I should have grabbed one. But anyway, they're Chaos Space Marines with jump packs and a bunch of stuff. But the Warp Talons have all of these cool little like spiky wings that go all over their stuff. And if you build them as Raptors like I did, you end up with a whole bunch of extra of these kind of parts. And I was thinking that these would be good, potentially, for my conversion, and then I couldn't find them, but I found the little tiny bits container that held them. Yeah, I mean they've gone through phases when they've been good. So these parts are cool. They're also, God, there's a million of them, and they're all slightly different. So I was trying to find a couple that matched. And so the idea, I was thinking it would be cool to mount them on the sides of the jump pack, but unfortunately, that's not really going to work over here on the side with the Thunderhammer. I mean, I can strain credulity with it, like his top knot is totally going to get sucked into that turbine. That's fine, but having that in the way of his hammer swing, that's not going to look great. All right, but that's fine. He's a wacky guy. He might have a bunch of these attached to, to one side. That could be cool. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know that I ever played any really assaulty things either for regular Marines or Chaos Space Marines when they were good. I'm trying to think if I've ever actually played my Raptors. And I can't remember ever actually fielding them. They look cool. And again, they're built with a loadout that I don't think is good anymore, which of course happens and is annoying. Reasonable in 5th edition, yeah, that was many moons ago. 5th edition. Let's see, catching up. So yesterday, I just got something going on my phone over there. I don't care. Yesterday we did toys. Very cool. Looking at some Black Adam, Shazadam as they call him now. not really. Just in one panel of some wacky comic, and then the new Fantastic Four Future Foundation. Got to remember all the words. HeroClix set, which was fun to look at and talk about, and then went over to Jessica's yesterday for some Dune. We did read some Dune. Oh man, the Dune. If you weren't there, we hit the most, as I said, the most famous passage in that book. And Jessica got to read it, and we all got to enjoy it. And if you weren't there and you don't know what I'm talking about, whoo boy. Oh boy. You're going to have to check the VOD, because I can't even begin to explain the gloriousness of the words. One word in particular that was included in that section. And now, of course, we're back today. Some more hammer. I got some various things here to work on. I don't know. It's just going to be hanging out. And we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm going to try to attach something, like I said. I'm just going to stick some of these little wing bits on, see what they look like. It's chaos. If I got to break stuff off and add new parts, that'll work too. Since I am just gluing things kind of haphazardly, I'm going to have to hold stuff down for a little while to get it to attach. But again, we're using plastic glue, so it's all going to be okay. Oh, wow, that's way out of alignment. Reset. All right, I fully caught up with the Titans TV show last night. So I've watched all of season 1, all of season 2. Oh man, that show is brutal. I liked it mostly. I know, right? We got so lucky last night that Chicky was on a break during that one part. It's fun having some younger people in the audience sometimes, but then also there are times when when it's not quite as good. No, I don't know. I should have seen the writing on the wall more about how that show was going to go. And I appreciate shows with lots of continuity and lots of characters from the comics and all that kind of stuff. And my God, did that show do that with just so many references and characters that popped up. But do you ever watch something or read something and it feels like the writers just hate the characters? This is Titans, the Teen Titans DC show. It was on DC Universe. Now it's on HBO Max. But my God, do the writers just put those characters through hell. Episode after episode, just beating down these characters. Hardly anything ever goes right. The most innocent characters are forced to essentially commit murder, and sometimes in self-defense, sometimes they're being mind controlled, and just, oh man, it's something. It's something. There were some bright spots. They did some interesting things. They did some really... I thought it was kind of cool what they did with Bruce Wayne. So Batman is in the show briefly. There's much more Bruce Wayne than there is Batman. And yeah, I just So once I finished Titans, I decided, okay, I'm going to go back and try to watch Doom Patrol. I had watched the first 2 episodes and was like, eh, and then switched over to Titans. But now I'm going to go back and give it a shot. I know there's some stuff that's coming in Doom Patrol from where I am that's going to be interesting. And yeah. Yeah, Minty Squids, like I said, there were aspects of Titans that I really did like, but it's just sad. What was I about to say? Oh my god, I just completely lost my train of thought. Oh, Bruce Wayne. Yes, Bruce Wayne. I don't remember the name of the actor, but if you watched Game of Thrones, Jorah Mormont, the former whatever they were called, former knight, former slave trader, permanent friend zone with with Khaleesi. Anyway, he plays Bruce Wayne. Now, you might think, what the hell? That's a weird casting choice. I thought that too at first. And then when they did sort of a little bit more of a comedic thing, I realized, holy crap, this guy looks an awful lot like Adam West. And they play off of that in one scene that's a little bit more comedic than the rest of it. And then when I realized that, I gave it a little bit more of a shot, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. So a little bit of different, like I said, different casting, but I ended up liking that. But yeah, overall, I don't think I can recommend that show to people. Oh yeah, there have been versions of Bruce in the comics who's super brutal, especially the older. Oftentimes, the older he gets, the crazier. All right, so I think this is looking cool. Ooh, let's see if we can get some focus here. So these little extra wings that I'm attaching to the jump pack. Just try to keep them straight, a little bit straight. Okay, that should work. And then I think I can put one over here on top, and then there just won't be one next to where the won't be one right next to the hammer. But I think that'll be okay. Yeah, because I wanted something more on this model, especially on the top, to give it a little bit more weight. Jump pack Space Marines are, we've talked about this before, they're pretty goofy looking. I mean, they have the jump packs just look weird. They're just tacked onto the backpack. They don't make any sense. Ian Glenn, thank you. That is the name. They look like everything would get in the way and go through the turbines. But like I said, I did want more bulk at the top of the model. I think it'll look interesting. Oh, Stargirl, that's a good thing to point out. I watched the first episode when it was on one of the CW, when it first came on one of the CW streaming services, and it was good. I liked it. I just didn't stick with it, whatever it was on at the beginning. So I should go back and continue that one. And that one seemed like maybe something I could watch with my kid. I don't know. Yeah, Squirrel, I've heard a lot of people really love the Harley Quinn cartoon. I haven't gotten around to that one yet, but I will add that to my list as well. Okay, cool. So those are on there. I like that Games Workshop has put a lot of time and effort lately into making fun of Imperium of Man aerodynamics, because it's all pretty dumb. Pretty dumb. Oh, it's not for the. Oh, right, the Harley one is it? Yeah, yeah. No, I'm saying Stargirl might be okay for Benjamin to watch. Okay, so yeah, so I'm thinking of putting the other one here. I just have to find the right. Like I said, each one of these little wings is shaped slightly differently, but I'm pretty sure I can find one that'll fit. Nope, not that one. Maybe that one. No. Maybe this one. Nope. How many different... I should really look and see how many different versions of these pieces there actually are. So I can... possibly this one. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's something with little kids. Everything has violence in it. Everything. Even stuff for kids is violent. Even stuff for kids talks about killing. Oh, I'm going to kill that guy. And death. Death is in everything. And it's like, all right, does it everything have to be about death? Minty Squid, that is a very, very good question. Typically, you can... Well, ultimately, you can customize anything you want. That's part of the fun of things. Some models are what we call monopose, so that the parts only go together in one way. Those are usually a little bit more challenging to customize. Again, because you'll have to like cut things apart or just stick things on, sort of like what I'm doing here. So yeah, that's a good example here. So this is a special character model. So it only went together in one specific way. You didn't have any options with it. So all the stuff I'm doing required leaving off parts and putting on different parts instead, or cutting things away and adding new things instead, like that. Other times you'll get models that have places built into the model where you can customize it, where you can put on, they'll give you different arm options, different arm positions, things like that. So those are easier to customize right out of the box. Otherwise, you need bits and all of the other things like I'm doing here, which can be really fun. It can also be very challenging and very time consuming. But then you get a truly unique model, which is nice. Well, it's nice when it all works out. All right, shaving more of this away. Yeah, no, that's true, Squirrel. And I mean, you know, I'm sure my kids will be fine even seeing all this violence, but I do sometimes wish there wasn't quite so much. All right, I think this will work. I'm aided here because there are slots on the jump pack for where those trophy racks were supposed to go. So I'm using those as a little bit of a guide for these new parts, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and like I said, this model was for a very specific particular character, but I don't want to run him as that character because that character is not, well, number one, he's not particularly good at all, but also not for my army in particular. So I'm turning him into something else. Okay, I think that'll work. So we've got some extra wingy bits. They almost look a little bit articulated because they're going in different directions slightly. We'll see. Maybe like they're balancing because he's got such a big hammer that he needs, you know, extra vectored thrust for when he's doing it on the move. Yeah, and he's got that lightning claw. I'm considering also. Well, I don't know in the meta right now what's a good loadout for a jump lord. But usually what I do with my lords is I have them with, well, the old lord, you were in 2 editions ago, the proper loadout for a Chaos Lord was a Power Fist and a Lightning Claw. Things are very different now. So what I would usually do is I would outfit them in such a way, but then also put like a Combi Bolter on there somewhere, just for, you know, for shits and giggles. So I might try to do that at some point. Stick that on there. Something. Jump Lord. Yeah. Now, if it was a regular Space Marine, not a Chaos Space Marine, it would be what do they call them? Smash Captains, Smash Lords, some other silly thing. Ooh, I want to talk about Glutos. We've looked at the model before. This is the crazy Hedonites of Slaanesh Age of Sigmar centerpiece model. His name is officially Glutos or Scolion. And he's this crazy thing. Yeah, Glutos, the Magnificent Chariot Lord. Yes. So here is artwork of Glutos. Smash Lords. So this is what he looks like in the lore. He is about, yeah, exactly. He once was a mortal human being who worships Slaanesh, is channeling a specific demon through that staff, so like the demon can watch what's happening, and then he's charged with experiencing everything. So he goes across the battlefield, basically eating everybody he comes across, and all of his little retinue people go find delicacies, mainly other people's body parts, on the battlefield and feed it to him. And that's essentially the story. So that artwork has become... Oh, I think I can show both. Yeah, so that artwork has become that model, which just looks amazing. So fantastic. There's so many individual characters on there. And again, there's an article on Warhammer community website where they showed each one. Each one has a name. Each one has a job. It's all very silly. But what a lot of people missed, myself included... Oh, hold on, let me... Come on. Remove... Is that in that massive pile of stuff going on is this little guy. And they even teased, what is this? What could it be? Now, immediately everybody jumped on this and said, oh my god, we're getting Chaos Halflings. Which certainly seems to be the case. You could argue it could be something else, for sure. But then it also turned into a pretty great joke about how no matter what the situation, the halfling always shows up with snacks. Because he's literally serving food to to Glutos there. But who knows, maybe this will be the beginning of a whole new faction in Age of Sigmar. Awesome Chaos Halflings. Or, you know, it could be something completely different. Who knows? But yeah, I thought that was neat. And yeah, that model just looks crazy. But, again, I'm being good. I am not going to be drawn in by the Hedonites of Slaanesh. I have a Caradron Overlord's army. It's modest, but it works. I actually have some more stuff to build for that. I do not need an entirely new Age of Sigmar army. I keep telling myself that, so it must be true. Must be true. No. I'm going to get the dice, because they're awesome Slaanesh dice. But I don't need a new army. So I wanted to find a symbol that I could put on this guy to make it a little bit even more... more Slaanesh-y. So there's this one that's... It's a little bit generic, but I don't love it. No, I don't need so many Age of Sigmar armies. I've only ever played Age of Sigmar twice. I don't need them. So I was thinking maybe I could just attach this on the back. I don't know. That would just look really tacked on. Meh. Nope. Yeah, evil pants. I have blue water today. Good. Okay, let's put him aside for a moment. Well, now everybody's playing online with Tabletop Simulator, and now you don't have to have You don't have to have any army physically. You can just play them virtually. So for the hammer here, I need to do a couple things. So here you can see there's a little bit of distress, and that's where I cut off the other hand. So this hammer was held by two hands, and then you attach it to the model. So I cut off the other hand, and then but I need to put something. I need to do something here where that little flaw is. And then on the head of the hammer, these skull imprints look a little bit too clean, a little bit too Imperium-like. And then maybe just some more decoration. So those are the further things I need to work on. Somebody suggested I could green stuff, like a little thing to hang off of this, like a little banner or something, or a little like a tassel, that's possible. But I had an idea for these. So Savage Punch, people have created. There's an amazing community out there for these programs. And they've taken, from what I've seen, it's mostly stock images of the models from the website, but they've imported all of those into the system. So yeah, so they are painted versions, and you can assign which one goes to which thing. And I believe there are ways that you can put your own in there as well, if you really wanted to put forth that effort. So what I was thinking was to just glue directly over these skulls. I know it's not focusing, but you get the idea. Some faces and heads that look like they're screaming. So like perpetually tortured, especially loyalist Space Marines. And again, they'd be dead, but through the powers of chaos and demons, they're forever kept alive, screaming on this guy's weapon. I thought that could be cool. So I just have to find ones that'll fit and ones that look properly tortured for all eternity. Which led me to my giant pack of heads. I've got Space Marine heads. I've got human heads. Mostly... Ugh, I've got beakies. Gross. Why are there beakies in my head collection? Get these things out of here. Little tiny itty bitty scout heads. They're so much smaller. A lot of scout heads. I do have some scouts, and I used Tempestus Scion heads for them, which a lot of people seem to do. That's a good screaming head. What is that head? Is that a scout head? I don't know. Weird. Yeah, the scouts are so tiny. Cool. No, the helmeted ones. And I know it has the little Aquila. That's not exactly the right symbol, but it's fine. Oh yeah, these. It's very small. Come on. Nope. There we go. Those heads are cool. So those are on my scouts. I have human heads. Oh, I have every kind of head here. A catalog of heads. All right, I think these might do it. I've got a Sisters of Silence head. I don't know where the hell I got that. Who knows? Oh, and then I do have a sprue here. Are any of these any better? Oh, that's a contender. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the one. All right, so I've got my heads. Now I just need to chop them down. Yeah, actually, I suppose with the green stuff, I could make entrails. Get a nice thin piece and then twist it so it looks like intestines. That could work. Ouch. Okay. Now I just have to, like I said, I have to cut it way down to size. I was thinking of doing skulls for this, but skulls are great. But actual screaming faces are even better. Oh shit. Oh man. Oh wait, oh. It vanished, but it shot out laterally and I got it. Okay. Ooh, there we go. That is just a face. I think I can work with that. Oh my goodness. The pain, the tragedy. Breakfast is such a hardship. I don't have the biggest hands, but man, I don't know how dudes with just giant hands and big old sausage fingers, I don't know how they do all this kind of stuff. No, this is a waffle this time, which he usually likes, but not so much today. Okay. So the idea is that it would go on. All right, I'm gonna trim the back. So the idea is, I still need to trim, but the idea is it would be like that. So screaming faces on the side of the hammer. Yeah, I do a lot more trimming. Oh my goodness. Ooh, English muffin sandwich. That sounds good. Oh no. Yeah, I go through. I have a couple different things that I will eat if I'm not really feeling it, but typically I'll just eat something really quick before I come on this stream on most weekdays. So if I'm not really hungry, I'll just eat like a couple handfuls of cereal just to get something. I like just for, yeah, I'm not usually really all that hungry for breakfast in the morning, but to get protein, there's a thing we get at Costco. They're these little microwavable frittatas, and I gotta say, they don't taste super great, but it's just eggs and like bell peppers, so it's pretty darn healthy. And then I put like a Creole Cajun spice on it that makes it edible. But yeah, the kids usually have access to cereal or waffles and other stuff. Okay, this one needs to be trimmed down some more. Great endorsement. I know, I have a habit of doing that. So I used to be, when I was in my teens and 20s, I was decently overweight. I wasn't huge, but for my height, I was overweight. And I didn't like it, but I just sort of lived with it. At the highest, I was 180, which I know it's not a million pounds, but I'm 5'9" or so, and I never liked it, but like I said, I never really sought out to do a lot about it. And then after some stuff happened, I decided I wanted to lose weight. I borrowed somebody's exercise bike And I realized, holy shit, that is the thing for me. I can do this. And within not that long a span, I lost 40 pounds, changed the way I ate, and the rest is history. Now I've gained back some pounds since then, but definitely not to the extent of where I was before that. And part of what I realized is that I love food, but I can kind of focus and prioritize what I really want to spend my calories on. And I can cut out things that I don't really need. So for instance, I love carrots. I eat carrots with at least 2 meals a day. And I used to always have hummus with my carrots. Always, I would buy, 4 different kinds. There would always be like 4 different kinds of hummus in the house. Always have that. But then one day I realized I don't need the hummus. I can just eat my carrots. I love carrots. So I cut that out and haven't gone back. I also used to eat a lot of like soy meat. I keep kosher, so eating meat is a little bit more of a hassle than I care about. So I eat a lot of soy meat, fake meat, we call it, whatever kind of, plant-based stuff. And I eat a lot, so I'll have that for lunch, it's all the same stuff, of course, but it's in a hot dog shape, or it's, a flat shape like bologna. And I would always eat that on tortillas. And I was like, well, I'm adding a lot of extra calories with these tortillas. So then I would get these healthy tortillas, which I was the only one in my family who would ever eat. And they didn't taste particularly good, but they were just a vehicle for getting this thing into my mouth. But even then I was like, why am I even eating this? It's not good. I don't need it. So I cut that out too. So I've been pretty good at being able to just remove things that are just excess calories or, things like that. But I do splurge when it comes to, usually like dinners I really like to do in, I'll eat what I want for dinners. And then I do love my sweets, which I try to only have once a day, but that doesn't always happen. But I figure if I'm cutting back on calories in other places, then I have more I can spend on the good stuff. So yeah, that is partly why I like those egg things in the morning. Exactly, it was just a way to get something into my mouth. But then I figured I could just use my hands for that. Yeah, and like Minty Squids is saying, I know a lot of you are not vegetarian, not vegan, and that's totally fine. And you might hear about me or other people talk about fake, quote unquote, fake meats and fake cheeses. And yes, it used to be that those things were pretty gross. I will freely admit that, but not anymore. There have been epic steps forward in the production of plant-based foods, so much so that a lot of them are not healthy at all, and they taste just like the real thing, and it's great. If you just want an option that does not include the slaughtering of animals, for whatever reason. And yeah, even the fake cheeses out there are good now, which took a while. Ooh, fresh baked cookies, yeah. My wife and I, we have pretty big sweet tooths. It's kind of shocking sometimes. She'll pick up like a dozen donuts, and a couple days later we'll be like, "Where did all of the donuts go? How did we eat a dozen donuts between the two of us?" But it happens. All right, so this is one of those kind of tedious parts where I'm just cutting to get this down to the right shape. But we're almost there. Oh, pieces are so small. Also, trying not to cut myself in the process. Which is sometimes harder. Come on. I started this cut. I must finish it. There we go. No. Where are my tweezers? Oh, I need the tweezers. Maybe that'll help. Ooh, yeah, Krispy Kreme. And I'm not a huge fan of Krispy Kreme, but I do like to eat them on occasion, and that's actually what we had them last week. There we go. Oh, we're also very adventurous when it comes to our sweets. So anytime there's a new Oreo flavor or a new, there's a new donut at Krispy Kreme. Well, I guess we got to go get a dozen donuts and some of those. Good morning, Tiny Chris. Yeah, just recently I had Java chip Oreo. Haven't tried those, but I will. I want to try the Lady Gaga Oreos, but I don't know where to get them. I don't know if that's part of the... if you have to, like, hunt them down or something. Zardoz, we looked at the menu for Gay Burger last night. So I think, yeah, we'll order... I wonder how difficult it is to get them, though. Lady Gaga Oreos are just blonde ones. Oh, interesting. Okay, they're just colored differently. And Minty Squid says, my parents basically can't eat dairy, and my mom really made, so we've hunted down the best vegan stuff. Yeah. Oh, there's some really, really good... there's some amazing vegan food out there these days. Oh, at Walmart, the Gaga ones? Okay, cool. I gotta try them. All right, I think these two faces will work. Now it's just a matter of gluing them in place. And just slight adjustments as we go. Come over a little bit. Okay. Good. And then face number 2. Oh no! It flipped over. Okay. Okay. Now, oh no. Oh shoot. That's why that's not working. Crap. That's not a plastic head. That's a resin head. Shoot. I need super glue for this one. The fun of mixing materials. Oh, interesting. I did not know that about Gay Burger. But yeah, it seems like a fun little bandwagon thing to get on, and it goes to a good charitable cause. Yeah, I will not lick the resin. I promise. Oh, we have had the chocolate hazelnut Oreos. Yeah, I like the apple pie Oreos. I'm not a big red velvet fan, so we stay away from those. Yeah, the other project I was thinking about was working on this this fail cast guy, but God, what a nightmare this thing is going to be. The way that these claws are just so crappy. There's a ton of flash in between every goddamn claw. They're all bent. The way it attaches to the... It's just so much cleanup to get this. Yeah, I'm really not looking forward to this. I was trying to figure out if I could just cut off these arms at some point and use some other Terminator Lightning Claw arms. And I still might try to do that because this is just going to be such a pain. Oh, yeah, I could look at those Terminators. That might be a good option. I think I might have some of those floating around. Okay, let's try that again with the correct glue. And now with this glue, I do have to be careful of not gluing myself to it. Okay. Cool. All right, let that dry. Neat. Yeah, I need to organize these heads. There's a combat knife. I gotta find some sucker to take these beaky heads. Ugh. God, I really can't stand the beaky heads. I don't like them. Let's see. I got a new review sample come in for the snap ships from Play Monster, so I'm excited about those. That is a fun product, those snap ships. I recommend them. Play Monster has been very nice to send me several. See, I've done 2 reviews on the snap ships, but each time they sent me a few things, so those are cool. I like supporting them in that endeavor. And then looks like I'll be doing a review of the new... So for Star Trek Attack Wing, the game from WizKids, they have a new product. It's out now. It's called Star Trek Alliance, and it's essentially a box set that you can play on its own, or you can combine it and play with Attack Wing. Thanks for hanging in, Squirrel. Have a good day. Good luck with lunch. Have a great day. So yeah, looking forward to checking that out because I love Attack Wing. And yeah, essentially, so everything is compatible with Attack Wing, but it has rules and components that you can play on its own. Basically, it has missions that you can play, and it has an AI system. So it comes with an Akira class Federation ship and a Excelsior class Federation ship with upgrade cards, mostly generic, and then 3 Jem'Hadar fighters. And the Jem'Hadar fighter bases have different orientations, so like you could roll to see which direction it's going to go. And so again, it's basically an AI system so that you can play by yourself or even with a friend, but not have to control everything in that way. Something like that. Correct, Zardoz. They have moved away from the single ship expansions, at least for now. There are more so typically now they are faction packs, so 4 ships per box. And as I've talked about, the faction packs they're basically just 4 ship boxes, because sometimes a faction pack will be 4 ships from the same faction, and sometimes they're mixed anyway if it's from a certain property, which I think is really cool. I'm thinking of starting next working on some Primaris Aggressors. I have several sets of the easy to build versions, but those are all with the flamethrowers. So I want to build some with the other weapon. The bolt guns, and with the little missile launcher things on the top. So I think that's how I'm going to do those. I haven't built any of these yet, so I don't know how easy or difficult they are, but I'm sure they're fine. I tried. Everyone, thanks to everybody who watches, but thanks to everybody who donated. I did try to go and get the Storm Speeder yesterday to start it this morning, but I was not able to. Yeah, these don't look very challenging. I just wasn't sure how much posability these had, but it does not look like much. They're chunky fellows. Oh, and with all the tubes and everything to attach, yeah, it doesn't look like they've got much in the way of that. Ooh, am I going to have to find a head for one of these, though? No, 3 helmeted heads. Whew! Got scared there for a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Cool. Well, look, some models have posability that just means you have to, put a shoulder and a middle arm piece and a lower arm piece, and then you have to do all that kind of stuff. But I just wasn't sure if this kit had that or not. The Reaver kit has got a ton of parts for some customization that way. All right, so the hammer now has faces. I've got faces on my hammer. It works pretty well. Again, painting will bring out, what's really going on here. Yes, we all know that Reavers are terrible. From what I've read, Aggressors aren't that great anymore either. But hey, I gotta have some. One of everything, right? At least. Okay, now what do I do? What's next? I guess what's next is I have to figure out what I'm going to do with the handle. Yeah, because most of the existing cloth and chain things they're just too... Well, for one thing, they're too big, but they're also too rigid. Which is not going to work for that. So, I'll look around in my bit, see if I can find something, or else I'll try sculpting it myself. I've done very little sculpting with green stuff yet, so that'll be an interesting challenge, but I will try. And then, yeah, like I said, clearly I need to organize my head collection here, because it's getting out of hand. Go over there. I talked a little bit about this on the Dune stream yesterday, but my book club, which is happening through Jessica's Discord, which is not the Homebuddies Discord, but it's Jessica's Discord. We're doing this. Creatures of Light and Darkness. We will be meeting via Discord by the end of this month. So if you're interested, yes, by the end it'll be late February. So we'll pick a specific date very soon, and we will announce it. So basically, it'll be in about 2 weeks. So that's still time to get the book if you don't have it. It's available everywhere. It's available on Kindle. It's available. I mean, you can actually buy a copy. It's available on Hoopla. the library app. If you have a library card here in the United States, you can get it for free that way. And we're going to read about the first 50 pages for this first discussion. So there's a one-page chapter called Dark Horse Shadow. So we're going to read through that chapter. It's just a page. Yes. So it's like the first, I don't know, quarter? Not even, maybe? But yeah, so get a hold of that. Creatures of Light and Darkness by Roger Zelazny. It's Egyptian gods in the far future in space. There's some really weird stuff that happens in the like right off the bat in the first chapter. But yeah, it's good. Like I said, I've read this book several times before, not recently, and I'm interested in reading it again as sort of an older adult, but also reading it with people and discussing it. I've done it before in book clubs many, many moons ago, and it's gone well. You know, when people actually read it in the book club, which doesn't always happen. I said I found out that some people join book clubs just to hang out and eat snacks. Like, what the hell? I joined this book club to read books, damn it, and talk about them. Am I the weird one? Yes. Yes, I am. I'm trying to remember. There was one book that we read that was really weird. It was a near future. Oh shit! A near future story, but it was like it was like an environmental apocalypse kind of story. Man, I'm like having sudden flashbacks to this really weird book. Is this the Snack and Wine book club where we talk about the women our husbands are cheating on us? I've been in book clubs like that. we were in a book club with some people who considered themselves to be fancy people, and yeah, the spreads they would put out at their book club meetings, that was the important thing. The books, not so much. We ate very well at those meetings, but sometimes I was one of only a couple people who actually read the dang book. What are you going to do? Today is usually the Myths and Video Games show over on the Pete Wiz channel in the afternoon. We will not be meeting today. Had some things come up, but we'll be back next week for that. We're going to be looking at the game Jotun, Jotun, another Norse mythology-based game. Zardoz, you don't know how to read. Well, you can get an audiobook, right? Those are things. Oh man, these don't even have head posability? That's interesting. We sure don't. I need part number 4. Yeah, 0. Yeah, apparently. Well, then these probably won't take me all that long to build. We have a fair number of parts. Ooh, and building them one way, it'll be interesting to see how many pieces I have left over from the other build. More bits. So exciting, the bit collection. Oh, do any of you use... Yeah, Aaron, it's 100%. It was just an excuse to get together and eat and drink copious amounts of things. Do any of you use Facebook Marketplace? I am fascinated by this thing. I haven't bought anything yet, but it's now my go-to, like if I'm trying to put a kid to sleep and just playing on my phone, I'll just scroll through Facebook Marketplace. I'm flabbergasted by this. There's so many weird things on there. So many things for just weird prices. It's like, did you pick this price out of a hat? How the hell did you come up with this price for this thing? Some price is good, some price is terrible. It's bizarre. So to keep myself sane, I only look at like what's new, and then I search Warhammer, I search spaceship. Like I only have a couple of essentially saved searches, but when you search Warhammer, you get a lot of weird results, first of all. And then, I mean, there are people selling off entire armies, painted armies sometimes, a lot of really old models. There's definitely some cool stuff out there. It's just very weird. The whole thing is weird. Oh, is my glue clogged up? Yeah, I'm definitely not I wouldn't call myself a Facebook user, except for family, and then obviously Messenger. Yeah. Are you really gonna make me go get up? Oh no, there. Whoa! All right. Haha! Cleared the blockage with a lot of extra glue. That's fine. Oh, stinky glue. Whew. Yeah, I don't know how much really weird malfeasance goes on Facebook Marketplace, but you never know. I do see some weird listings for underpants and food and things that show up. And I'm like, what's all this about? I don't know. Okay, I need 5 and 6 for some legs. Because I'm a total nerd for Space Marine aesthetics, I am kind of looking forward to the new Gravis Captain and the Heavy Intercessors. But man, I really don't think I need that whole kill team set. I've got a lot of kill team crap around. I don't know. We'll see. I know a guy who plays Necrons. And I was like, hey, are you going to get that kill team? Maybe I can just get those Space Marines from you. But of course, he also plays Space Marines. So I don't know. Zardoz, the upcoming one, it's not up for pre-order yet, but it's the Pariah Nexus set. So it's the new Gravis Captain with master crafted some kind of rifle, and then the first that kill team set. Really, really cool looking Necron terrain pieces. And then, of course, 2 new maps. Kill team size, but now that's it's pretty much Warhammer 40k size now, because the games are all suggested to be on so much smaller maps. Heavy Intercessors are going to ruin the world. No, they'll be fine. They say that about everything. Everything's going to ruin the world. And we're still spinning, baby. It's kind of weird. no. Why did you buy his Dark Angel Codex? Or why did you buy him his... What's happening? Now I'm confused. He did... Yeah, so our friend Tyler, he did message me because he had to share... Or was he messaging all of us? Anyway, our friend Dark Angels player, Zardoz, not you, different Dark Angels player, was going on and on about how ridiculously amazing his Dark Angels are now. It's like, yeah, I get it. I'm happy that you're happy. Well, Eridan's, I try not to go too far overboard. But, you know, I get the stuff that I need, but then I try not to go beyond that. Well, in a set like that, too, it's... Yes, it has Space Marines I want, but then it has a bunch of other stuff that I don't need. So with something like that, then it's harder to justify getting. And no, before anybody says it, don't say, well, just start a Necron army. No. I have no interest in starting a Necron army. Although if I ever was going to, flayed ones are definitely... I definitely like their lore and their look. That is pretty cool aspect of the Necrons. Well, Roy, that was very nice of you to buy the Codex for him. All right. Well, we have a start to our aggressors. We have a body. We have legs. There's a head in there. Eventually, he's gonna look like this giant chunky thing. But even bigger, because he's going to have missiles up top. Missile auto launcher, whatever the hell they call it. All right. Yeah, and I'm very happy with what I did here. Like I said, it really felt like there was something missing, and these I really like these little wing parts. For the Chaos Lord on a bike that I've customized, I also use some of these little wingy dudes. And now it's got faces. As past victims, their faces live on, screaming in eternal torment. That's cool. That's grimdark, right? Roy, how is your Necron army? When was the last time you added to that? Speaking of Necron army. No, it's not as grimdark as Titans. It really isn't. Yeah. Cool. So that'll be fun to continue building the aggressor. Well, actually, no. We'll work on the. You know what? This poor little guy here. He's just gonna go away. He's gonna hang out for a while because we're gonna build the Storm Speeder. Next up. Will I be able to get that by Friday? I can work on it on Friday. Possibly. I'm gonna try that. When did that campaign end? Roy, that was years ago. At this point, I think. I got to imagine people are doing Crisis Protocol on Tabletop Simulator. That sounds like a thing that's happening. Cool. Well, like I said, I'm very pleased with the work that has been going on here, and I thank you all for hanging out. Well then, Roy, you have an old school Necron army, vintage, with all those old warriors. All right, but it is time. I do need to be shuffling on and do stuff with the family. So let's see if there's anybody to raid out there. Not really. Oh yeah, that the new monolith that yeah, they showed. What was it? What did they show that the same week as something for Space Marines? And the Space Marine thing was, you know, like about what you'd expect for price wise, and the monolith was double the cost. It was like, what is going on here? Why is that so much more expensive? Just because it is. Oh, no, don't. I don't want to listen to myself. Stop it. Let's see. Oh, a lot of people streaming right now in the Warhammer thing. Monolith versus Imperial Knight. The monoliths are cool. The old one is cool. I do like the old one. I don't know. I don't know any of these people. I don't know. No rating. Sorry, other communities. Not into it today. What else? Yeah, so no film at 11. No Myths and Video Game stream today. We'll be back next week. I will not be streaming tomorrow. I take off of Thursday, but I will be back on Friday. Like I said, maybe I'll have the Storm Speeder. Maybe I can go pick it up before then, starting on that, but we'll see. And otherwise, be cool. Have a great middle of your week, everybody. Right, don't shuffle off this Mortal Coil. Just shuffle to whatever you need to do next. But that's it. All right. See everybody next time, and goodbye. Yeah, stay warm if you're in a cold place. We got all the warmth here. We're good. All right. Bye.